The galaxy had seen many wars. It had seen ships as large as cities. It had seen weapons that could break moons in half. So when the human prototype entered the border of the Orion trade zone, no one felt afraid. It was small. It was old. Its metal surface looked rough and worn. Its engine flame burned unevenly. Compared to the shining silver ships of the alien fleets, it looked like a broken tool lost in space. High above the trade zone, a massive alien battle group floated in perfect formation. Their ships were long and sharp, glowing with blue energy lines. Their weapons were active. Their shields were strong. Inside the command chamber of the largest warship, alien officers watched the human vessel on a wide holographic screen. A low sound of laughter filled the room. "That is Earth's prototype," one commander asked. "They sent this." Another officer zoomed in on the image. "There are visible weld marks on the hull," he said with clear amusement. "It looks unfinished." More laughter followed. For many cycles, humans had tried to prove they belonged among the great powers of the galaxy. They spoke about innovation. They spoke about courage. But when it came to power, they were far behind. And now this was their answer. One small ship. Alone. The human vessel continued forward at steady speed. It did not change direction. It did not send a request for passage. It did not slow down. "That ship is heading straight for restricted space," an officer reported. "Should we stop it?" The commander waved his hand carelessly. "Let it come closer," he said. "I want to see how serious they are." Across the fleet, more ships turned their sensors toward the approaching prototype. Scanning beams passed over its hull, reading its weak power output, studying its simple weapon systems. The results were unimpressive. No advanced shields detected. No heavy weapons. Engine output below military standard. The alien officers laughed again. But far at the edge of the chamber, one young officer did not laugh. He watched the human ship carefully. There was something strange about its movement. It was too steady. Too calm. A weak ship should hesitate. A weak ship should show fear. But this one moved forward without pause. Inside the small human vessel, Captain Elias Ward sat alone in the cockpit. The room was simple. Metal walls, dim lights, old control panels. His hands rested lightly on the controls. His eyes were focused on the stars ahead. He could see the bright wall of alien warships blocking his path. His heartbeat was steady. He knew they were laughing. He knew they believed this ship was a joke. That was the plan. Back in the alien command chamber, warning lights began to flash softly. "Prototype entering primary defense range," an officer said. "Shall we issue a warning?" The commander smiled. "Yes, send them a message." A powerful transmission shot across space toward the human vessel. The message was simple. "You are entering restricted territory. Turn back immediately or be destroyed." Seconds passed. The alien fleet waited. Surely the small ship would stop now. Surely it would turn around. But it did not. Instead, the human prototype increased its speed slightly. Not fast. Not aggressive. Just enough to show it had made a choice. The laughter inside the command chamber slowly faded. "Why are they not responding?" someone asked. The young officer felt a cold feeling in his chest. "This is not normal," he whispered. The human ship crossed the invisible borderline. Defense systems across the alien fleet powered up. Weapons locked onto the small target. And still, the prototype did not fire. It did not send another message. It simply continued forward. Captain Elias pressed a single hidden switch beneath the main console. Deep inside the ship, something ancient and powerful began to wake up. Far away, the first alien sensor flickered. The young officer's eyes widened. "Commander," he said quietly, "there is a sudden energy rise inside the human vessel." The commander leaned forward. "What kind of energy?" The answer came with uncertainty. "Unknown." And for the first time since the small human ship appeared, no one laughed. Inside the human prototype, Captain Elias Ward sat in complete silence. The soft hum of the ship surrounded him. Old machines worked behind the metal walls. Dim lights flickered above his head. Everything about the ship looked weak. Everything looked outdated. But Elias knew the truth. He looked at the main screen. The alien fleet filled the darkness ahead. Hundreds of warships. Each one powerful enough to destroy his vessel in seconds. He felt no fear. His face was calm. His breathing was slow and steady. He had trained for this moment for many years. Far behind him, Earth floated like a small blue light in the distance. His home. His people. Everything he loved. Earth was not the strongest world in the galaxy. It did not have the biggest fleet. It did not have the most powerful weapons. For many years, humans were ignored. Many alien empires saw them as weak. Some saw them as unimportant. Others saw them as easy targets. They laughed at human technology. They laughed at human ambition. But humans never stopped learning. They studied alien systems. They studied alien weaknesses. They learned something important. Power was not always about size. Power was not always about weapons. Sometimes, power was about control. Elias reached forward and touched the old metal console. The ship responded with a soft sound. This ship was special. It was not built to win battles. It was built to change them. Years ago, human scientists discovered something unusual. A hidden layer inside advanced alien technology. A weakness that no one else could see. Alien ships depended on connected energy systems. They shared signals. They shared power balance. They shared control structures. It made them efficient. It made them strong. But it also made them vulnerable. Humans designed this prototype to use that weakness. Not with force, but with precision. Elias looked at a small photo attached beside the console. It showed his family. They were smiling. Peaceful. He remembered the day he left Earth. No crowds. No celebration. This mission was a secret. Because if it failed, humanity would stand alone and defenseless. The alien fleet sent another warning signal. Stronger this time. Human vessel, stop immediately. This is your final warning. Elias listened, but he did not respond. Instead, he activated another system. Deep inside the ship, hidden beneath layers of old metal and simple design, a new core began to glow. It was silent, invisible from outside. But inside, it was waking up. Back in the alien command chamber, officers watched carefully. The human ship is still moving, one officer said. They are ignoring all warnings. The commander's face showed irritation. Prepare weapon lock, he ordered. Across the fleet, targeting systems activated. Weapons charged with deadly energy. Hundreds of cannons aimed at the small human prototype. The young alien officer watched the energy readings closely. His fear was growing. Commander, he said slowly, the unknown energy inside the human vessel is increasing. The commander frowned. Is it a weapon? The officer hesitated. No, he said. It does not look like a weapon. That answer made no sense. If it was not a weapon, then what was it? Inside the prototype, Elias saw the same readings. The system was almost ready. This was the moment humanity had prepared for. He placed his hand on the final control switch. He knew once he activated it, nothing would be the same again. Outside, the alien fleet finished weapon lock. Attack permission was seconds away. The commander raised his hand, ready to give the order. Inside the small, weak, laughed-at human ship, a quiet voice spoke from the core system. Control system ready. Elias closed his eyes for 1 second. Then he opened them again, and pressed the switch. The moment Captain Elias pressed the switch, nothing seemed to happen. The human prototype continued floating in silence. Its weak engine glow remained the same. Its outer hull showed no change. From the outside, it still looked harmless. Inside the alien command ship, the commander grew impatient. This is over, he said coldly. Destroy the human vessel. An officer moved his hand toward the firing control. But suddenly, he froze. His screen flickered. The targeting symbol disappeared. He blinked in confusion. "Commander," he said. "My weapon lock is gone." Another officer spoke quickly. "Mine too." Across the command chamber, control panels began to flicker. Lights blinked on and off. Warning sounds echoed softly. The commander stood up, his expression turning serious. "What is happening?" he demanded. Before anyone could answer, the entire holographic display glitched. The image of the human ship distorted, then stabilized again. The small prototype remained exactly where it was. Silent. Still. But now, something invisible was spreading from it. Across space, an unseen wave moved outward. It touched the nearest alien warship first. Inside that ship, systems began to fail. Targeting computers shut down. Weapon controls stopped responding. The crew tried to react. But nothing worked. Within seconds, the wave reached another ship. Then another. Like falling dominoes, the alien fleet began to lose control. Inside the command chamber, panic slowly replaced confidence. "Commander, we are losing weapon systems," one officer reported. "Navigation is not responding," said another. "Shield controls are frozen," said a third. The commander stared at the human ship. This was impossible. That small, weak prototype was doing nothing. And yet everything was going wrong. The young alien officer checked his readings again. His hands trembled slightly. "Commander," he said quietly, "it is not attacking us." The commander turned sharply. "Then what is it doing?" The officer swallowed. "It is controlling us." Silence filled the room. Far outside, the massive alien warships floated helplessly. Their powerful weapons were useless. Their advanced systems were dead. And at the center of it all, the human prototype remained calm. Inside the small ship, Elias watched the screen carefully. He saw the alien fleet status appear one by one. Weapon systems disabled. Shield systems disabled. Engine systems restricted. The control system was working perfectly. He felt a small sense of relief. Years of work. Years of sacrifice. All leading to this moment. Back in the alien command ship, the commander tried to activate manual override. His hands moved fast across the console. But nothing responded. It was as if the ship no longer belonged to him. Around him, officers looked confused, afraid. Their powerful fleet had become nothing more than silent metal. The young officer looked again at the human prototype. It had not fired a single weapon. It had not caused any visible damage. And yet it had defeated them. Not with force, but with control. The commander spoke slowly, his voice filled with disbelief. "How can this be possible?" No one answered. Because no one knew. Inside the prototype, a calm artificial voice spoke again. "Fleet control at 92%. Elias watched the final ships lose function. He knew what this meant. The alien fleet was no longer a threat. For the first time in galactic history, a single human ship had stopped an entire armada. And the galaxy had not even seen it coming. Silence filled the alien command ship. No alarms were ringing now. No systems were responding. The powerful warship had become nothing more than a floating shell. The commander stood still, staring at the image of the small human prototype. Moments ago, he had laughed at it. Moments ago, he had called it weak. Now, he understood how wrong he had been. "Status report," he said quietly. An officer checked his console, though he already knew the answer. "All primary systems are disabled," he said. "Weapons are offline. Shields are offline. Engines are not responding." The commander felt something he had not felt in many cycles. Fear. Outside, the entire alien fleet floated in the same helpless state. Hundreds of ships. All silent. All powerless. And in the center of them all was the human prototype. Still small. Still quiet. Still calm. Inside that small ship, Captain Elias Ward sat with steady hands. His screen showed complete control. Every alien ship was listed. Every system was connected. Not destroyed. Controlled. This was the true purpose of the prototype. It was never built to fight. It was never built to destroy. It was built to take control. Years ago, human scientists had made an important discovery. They learned that alien ships were connected through shared energy networks. This connection made their fleets strong. It allowed them to move and fight as one. But humans saw something else. They saw a weakness. If one system could connect to that network, it could control it. This prototype was the key. It did not use powerful weapons. It used something far more dangerous. Access. Inside the alien command ship, officers tried everything. Manual override. Emergency restart. Backup controls. Nothing worked. The human prototype was already inside their systems. The young alien officer stared at his dark console. He remembered how he had laughed earlier. Now, he felt ashamed. They planned this, he whispered. The commander did not answer. He continued staring at the human ship. He realized something important. Humans had entered their space alone. Without fear. Without protection. Because they already knew the outcome. Inside the prototype, Elias looked at the fleet status one more time. Control was complete. He had the power to destroy every ship. One command. That was all it would take. His finger rested near the control. He thought about Earth. He thought about his people. He thought about every time humanity had been ignored. Every time they had been disrespected. He had the power to end it now. But that was never the mission. The system AI spoke again. Fleet fully under control. Elias took a slow breath. Then he activated the communication system. A signal began to form. It moved across space. Toward every alien ship. Toward every commander. Inside the alien command chamber, a new signal appeared on the dark screen. The human prototype was sending them a message. The commander stared at it. His hands were still. His voice was quiet. "Play it," he ordered. Across the silent fleet, every alien waited. The small human prototype, the ship they had laughed at, was about to speak. The alien command chamber was completely silent. No one moved. No one spoke. All eyes were fixed on the dark screen in front of them. The human prototype was about to deliver its message. The commander stood still, his hands behind his back. For the first time in his long career, he was not in control. Around him, his officers waited nervously. Then, the screen flickered to life. A human face appeared. It was Captain Elias Ward. He looked calm. He looked tired. But his eyes were steady. He did not look like a conqueror. He did not look like a destroyer. He looked like a man carrying responsibility. He spoke in a clear, calm voice. "This is Captain Elias Ward of Earth." His voice echoed through every alien ship. Through every command room. Through every silent system. "We did not come here to destroy you," he continued. "We came here to be heard." Inside the alien command ship, no one interrupted. No one dared to. "For many cycles, humanity has been ignored," Elias said. "We have been laughed at. We have been seen as weak." He paused for a moment. But weakness is not measured by size. It is measured by will. The alien commander listened carefully. He could feel the truth in those words. Elias continued. "Right now, every ship in your fleet is under our control." A quiet wave of fear moved across the alien officers. Elias did not raise his voice. He did not threaten them. He simply spoke the truth. "We could destroy you," he said calmly. "But we will not." Those words surprised everyone. The alien commander narrowed his eyes slightly. He expected anger. He expected revenge. But he heard none. "We do not want war," Elias said. "We want respect." Silence filled the alien ships. The meaning of his words was clear. Humanity had the power. But humanity chose peace. Elias gave one final statement. Remember this moment. Not as the day you were defeated, but as the day you learned who we are. The screen went dark. The signal ended. For several seconds, no one moved. No one spoke. Then suddenly, alien systems began to return. Lights turned on. Control panels activated. Engines responded. The human prototype was releasing them. It was giving them back control. But everything had changed. The alien commander looked out at the small human ship. It was still there. Still small. Still simple. But now, it looked different. Now, it looked powerful. Not because of its size, but because of what it had done. The commander spoke quietly. Stand down. Across the fleet, weapons powered down. No one laughed anymore. No one mocked humanity anymore. The small prototype slowly turned. Its weak engine glowing softly. It began its journey home. No alien ship followed. No alien ship attacked. They simply watched. They watched with respect. Far away, Earth waited in silence, unaware that everything had just changed. Inside the prototype, Elias allowed himself to breathe. The mission was complete. Humanity was no longer invisible. Humanity was no longer weak. And across the galaxy, a new truth had been written. Humans were not the strongest. Humans were not the biggest. But humans were the ones no one would ever laugh at again.